Hi guys, welcome back. In this week's video we're going to talk about piezos. I don't think I have ever mentioned these devices before on my channel, but there was a time where I was really into them. If you don't know what's a piezo material, it's basically a magic ceramic that generates an electric charge when mechanically deformed. So in simple terms, it's a force sensor. But what I find interesting about these materials is their converse effect, which allows them to create a mechanical strain when a voltage potential is applied. This means that they can also be used as buzzers or actuators. Now these piezos are usually designed to be used for specific applications. To give you an example, these are all the piezos I have here in my lab.
The super thin ones are meant to be used as buzzers, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you have used. But there are also a lot of makers who use them as force detectors. Then here I have this piezo, which is intended to be used for energy harvesting, but back in the day I have also used this as a haptic actuator.
This guy is now obsolete because I have ordered this in 2013 back when I was a student. I remember spending all my monthly income on two of these just to break one in like 5 minutes because they are super brittle.
The last piezo I have here is a little bit more affordable and is specifically designed to be used for haptic feedback. It is priced at around €25 and from a 9x9mm footprint it can create up to 2.5 newtons. In the last few months I have done some experiments with this device to get more familiar with haptic feedback. The first thing that I did was get a special driver because to make a piezo vibrate it has to be powered with high voltage. And this evaluation board has a DRV8662 chip which contains an integrated 5V to 105V boost converter. This is powering a differential amplifier, which means that our piezo can be powered with a 200V peak-to-peak maximum output.
Now this brings us to the next part of this video. So far I have told you that piezos can be used as actuators, buzzers and sensors. But what if we could combine all the three features into one magical button? This is not going to be easy to implement, but a couple of years ago I saw a similar concept done by a company called Piezo. I'm not sure if their technology is patented, but they're using a custom ASIC chip to control multiple piezo discs and use them for sensing, vibration and buzzing. The thing that actually blew my mind when I first saw this is that they're using piezo buzzers for haptic feedback. I tried connecting one to the DRV8662 module and it actually worked and started vibrating around. This is very exciting because these buzzers can get really cheap when compared to other piezos, but my only concern is that they are not rated for high voltage. I'm pretty sure that driving them at 200V peak to peak could degrade their lifetime. The buzzer with the largest rating that I could find is 80V peak to peak, but it's kind of huge. So the first step that I would like to do is see if I could get a better haptic kick at lower voltages. But before we do so, I would like to thank this video sponsor, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community which allows you to explore thousands of inspiring classes. It is the perfect tool for self-education, whether you're just curious or you want to upgrade your skills. They have a lot of classes that can help you get started with electronics design, Arduino and programming. To make this project happen, I needed to brush up on some analog electronics theory, so I decided to take this class by Leon Patron. His videos are short, concise and goes through all the fundamentals. He also gives hands-on project examples, which in my opinion is the best way to learn circuit design. So if you'd like to explore something new this year, join up, and the first 1000 people that uses my link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. Now let's continue our piezo testing.
To try and get the best results, I'm going to compress the piezo inside the housing like this one. So since the power hub has wires, it's going to be housed in a 3D printed mount. The other piezo discs are going to be mounted between two PCBs and a 3D printed spacer.
haptic sandwiches are ready. The last thing I want to do is set up these FSR sensors so that we can measure and compare their forces. After a couple of tests, I started noticing that these sensors were not sensitive enough to measure the small forces created by the piezo, so I then tried measuring these vibrations with another piezo buzzer, which worked, but I ended up using an accelerometer, which was much more sensitive. There was another problem because the two piezo buzzers were not vibrating at all. At first I thought that they were too compressed, but after opening the housing I realized that the top PCB was not touching the disc. This means that the one layer to the printed spacer was too thick, so I replaced it with some paper tape, which seems to fix the problem. Now the driver has 4 different gain levels, which can adjust the output to 50, 100, 150 and 200 volts peak to peak. These output levels depends on the load capacitance, so the 200 volts peak to peak can only be reached if the piezo has less than 100 nanofarads capacitance. Both discs are within this range, but the power hub actuator has a larger value. This means that for all the 4 gain levels, the output stayed within 50 volts peak to peak.
So the module here is supposed to be driving 200 volts peak to peak, but instead it's 50 volts peak to peak.
In practice this is still fair because the actuator is only rated up to 60 volts. I measured the forces for the 4 different gain levels and these are the results I got. The smaller 50mm one was barely vibrating, while the bigger one was, but at the 200 volts peak to peak range it was making a strange noise. Then I noticed that the haptic behavior significantly improved by adjusting the screws, and it also got rid of that weird noise. These are the results I got after doing this tweak. From this data we can see that the 15mm piezo disc had a remarkable boost and the 65mm is much more powerful at lower voltages. Judging by my finger, both the power hub and the 65mm buzzer's haptic feedback felt good at 50 volts peak to peak, while the smaller piezo disc started kicking at 100 volts and above. So at least we managed to actuate these two within their safe voltage range. For all these tests, I was using the module's sample haptic waveforms, which were being generated by the onboard MSP430. I didn't have a flasher for this microcontroller, so instead I tried generating an external waveform using an Arduino Uno. But while I was setting it up, one of the driver's input pins touched the high voltage output and burned one of the channels. This got the project to a standstill because I had to order a new chip and replace it. But once the module was back alive, I tried connecting the Arduino again and externally derived the input waveforms. To do this, I created 2 30 kHz PWM signals, and by using the module's onboard second order differential filter, I created a sine wave, which is required to drive these types of actuators. I set the vibration duration short so that it feels like a real click. To use the piezo as a buzzer, I just drove the same sine wave at higher frequencies. I'm so happy with this. For sensing, I just used a potential divider to drop the 105 maximum to a safe voltage. I also added TVS diodes to make sure that the signal doesn't go over the 5 volts rail. Now this potential divider dropped the touch spikes in the millivolts range, so for the software to detect this signal I had to add a non-inverting amplifier with a gain of 20. The last step was to combine all the 3 functions together, so the first thing that the software has to do is search for the finger tap. This was done by looking at the gradient change, so working out the derivative. Once this is detected, it has to enable the driver and send a haptic response, which then activates the buzzing. It didn't work that well at first, but after a couple of adjustments to both the mechanical mount and the software, I managed to refine it. The other 2 samples generated weaker touch signals, so I had to increase the amplifier's gain by a factor of 5. With this change, the 15mm piezo worked pretty good, but the power hub wasn't as sensitive. Now, as a haptic button alone, you might see this as an overcomplicated solution, and I agree with you. I mean, it's just to replace a low displacement tactile switch. But it's a new technology, and it comes with a free buzzer. You can also elevate this by using 4 piezo actuators and drive them separately to provide haptic feedback for a whole plate or maybe a touchscreen. I also have to note that there are a lot of other piezo actuators that can be used. I saw some online that are flexible, customizable and even multi-layer, so that they can provide more power at lower voltages. But all these piezos that I mentioned now are a little bit harder to get access to unless you're some large corporation with some big numbers. But like I showed you, it can still be done with these buzzers, which are only like €2. I have uploaded all the files I use for this project and linked it down in the description below, so that you can test it yourself. Just remember to be careful with this driver and don't touch the 200 volts output pins at the same time.